Hi, it's Brad again. In this video, step 6, I'm going to teach you how to build a simple growth portfolio. So there's two ways to build a portfolio. The first is you can use opinions and emotions, which is what most people use. I prefer to use facts and evidence. So let's briefly review the evidence. First of all, diversification reduces risk. You probably know this, but I bet if I looked at your portfolio, we could put more diversification into your portfolio. Number 2, costs reduce returns. Again, obvious, but you'd be surprised at how many people own investment products that are unnecessarily expensive. Taxes reduce returns. Also, lots of people hold investment products that are not tax efficient. Number 4, the stock market is unpredictable. This is critically important. The stock market is very likely to generate wealth in the long term, but that, I believe, is all we know. We don't know what it's going to do in the short term or the medium term. If there's an advisor or a talking head or a pundit that's giving you opinions about what they think the stock market is going to do, I would ignore those opinions. You do not know what the stock market is going to do. I don't know what it's going to do. I do believe in the long term it's a great place to build wealth. Number 5, there are 3 dimensions of higher expected returns. This is a strange sentence, but what it means is there's 3 persistent anomalies that we have found, not we, my firm, but that people that study this stuff for a living have found the 3 persistent dimensions or anomalies. The first is that small cap stocks outperform large cap stocks. The second is that value stocks tend to outperform growth stocks. They haven't in the past 5 to 10 years, but in the fullness of time they have. Finally, stocks of profitable companies have outperformed stocks of less profitable companies. So let's build you a simple evidence-based growth portfolio. The first thing we need to do is determine what portion of your portfolio should be in stocks and what portion should be in bonds. So we do that by understanding, or I would encourage you to do this by understanding your own need to bear risk, your willingness to bear risk, and your ability to bear risk. So let's review those. Let's pretend your need to bear risk was medium. You only can find this out by doing a financial plan and then scoring that plan, see kind of the confidence of that plan, figuring out how much risk you need to take to achieve your needs, wants, and wishes. So let's say that's a medium. Your willingness to bear risk is your emotional or psychological response to fluctuations in the stock market. Your ability to bear risk is your ability, let's say, to go back to work, after you retire if the stock market does very poorly. Most people are not willing or able to do that. So let's say your need is medium, your willingness is medium, and your ability is low. Remember, in this model, you already have taken care of your income floor, right? So you can actually bear a fair amount of risk in your growth portfolio. And let's say you conclude that you're going to have 70% stocks in your growth portfolio. Remember, your overall percentage stocks could be far less than this because you may also have an annuity and a bond ladder and so on and so on. So let's say you decide on 70 for your growth portfolio. What I want you to do is I want you to use all available asset classes, but then overweight the 3 dimensions that we mentioned. So let's pretend this is your portfolio. We have 30% of it in a bond index. We have about 50 or 55% in the global stock index or indices, right? The global stock market, thousands and thousands of stocks. But then in this yellow wedge, we are overweighting those 3 dimensions of higher expected returns. So take large caps and small caps. You're still going to own tons of large caps. It would be silly not to, but you're going to disproportionately own small caps. You're going to tilt towards small caps or overweight small caps. I want you to select low-cost securities from companies like Vanguard or iShares or Dimensional Fund Advisors. We use DFA in our firm. They're basically the king or leader of evidence-based investing. And then I want you to monitor and rebalance that portfolio. So let's see what we've built so far through 6 steps. On the left, we have you working. On the right, we have you replacing your work compensation with a base salary and a bonus. The base salary is your income floor made up of safe sources, which I will not review again. Your bonus is made up of your growth portfolio, and the amount that you pay yourself can vary year to year based on how well your growth portfolio is doing. And the purpose of the bonus is to finance your wants and your wishes. So let me just show you my logo. My logo looks a lot like that, doesn't it? So I am so committed to this strategy for retirement income planning that I put my money where my mouth is, and I crafted a logo, you see the shapes in the logo, that directly flow from this way of managing retirement income planning. So we have work, we have income replacement with these different strategies and these different sources, and they are reflected in my firm's logo. So in step 6, we covered the growth portfolio. And then in step 7, we're going to turn our attention to a risk that a lot of people are basically in denial about, which is the risk of needing to spend a significant amount of money on long-term care.